Leo, and welcome to Mountain Medicine Tarot. I'm happy to be here this brand new year, 2018. I hope it's treating you well. There's lots of cool things happening in 2018 as far as astrology goes, but we're going to jump right into your reading because your energy has actually come out a lot in other people's readings in the center right here. So what that means is a lot of people are looking in towards themselves to find their own inner victory, their own courage, and that leading fire that you guys already have. Now, the interesting part about that is with 2018, we're actually being asked to kind of slow down, understand more of the feminine nature, the feminine side of things, and to really be able to slow down and align more so than push forward with that determination. So I just want to give a little word of the wise. I'm an Aries, so I understand fully that like goals and determination and like moving forward and fire. But just as a collective message, 2018 is asking us to actually put all of that back and lead with earth and water energy. So let's see what comes through for you, Leo. Right at the beginning, we have here fertility. So that can be anything. That can be a baby, but if you're thinking about a baby, just reach out to me because I won't put energy towards babies unless it's private. So let me know if that's something you've been thinking about, because this is a yes answer. But it can be anything as well. It can be a new car. It can be your career, family life, moving forward with a home, anything like that. So we'll come back to that center to see kind of what it is you're working on with this new year, but it's just about having fertile ground and you're able to plant your seeds to start moving forward with that idea. And so right here we have your past. This is relationships and love and other people is all in this area. And we have the stone. So stones are old, obviously, they're ancient, so they hold a lot of knowledge. They hold, the Earth's history, so it has here records and knowing revealed, because I think of it as like writing something in stone, right? These are Native American cards by Jamie Sams, but Native American languages were not actually written, but that's just how I remember it. So this has to do with possibly legal matters and paperwork, that type of thing, so we'll come back to that one. Then over here, this is the space of within, so just going within yourself to do kind of a hibernation thing. This is the perfect card for that space, which is that of healing. This bowl was used to grind herbs in, and then the bowl itself is black, so then you fill it full of water, and you're able to look inside of it and see what needs healing. So we'll come into that because it looks like that slow down kind of water energy is coming through here. The records and ancestral type knowing is down here in the past. And up here is the place of the north, which is represented by the buffalo. It's an abundant energy, it's manifestation, it's material gain, it is abundance in all forms, and it's also connection to the stars. And with this one it says rhythm. So like I said as we began, everything needs to be kind of a slow and steady process. We just want to get into flow. So this is all about internal timing and your own internal alarm clock, that type of thing. So it just reminds us to come back to our heartbeat, come back to our breath, and just slow down in order to, take inspired action, not just action. And then over here is this east side, which is connected to the eagle, and it represents moving forward in the physical realm. So this is like an action step. And what we have is the truth. So that's interesting. It's very straight and narrow type energy. As long as you tell the truth, nobody can hurt you or penetrate your story. And let's see, we'll grab the next deck. I've got 4 decks total that I'd like to use. This one comes later. It's just so tiny it likes to jump out and move around. So this is the medicine wheel. This is the spread that we're doing. You can see all of the different places and the animals that are accompanied by them. So we go down here to the south side, which is represented by the wolf, and that's why it has to do with other personal relationships, is because they always run in packs. It's also the place of the inner child. You can see them howling at the moon. So, okay, I've got two jumpers here. One of them is the overall energy of Cancer, and this is not the first time that it's jumped out for this position. These little baby raccoons, they're just cute, they're cuddly, there's creativity there, they've got butterflies around them. It's just a very calm energy. And so it's just kind of reminding you that slow and steady pace again. And as a Leo, you're kind of the opposite of a Cancer. So it's just reminding you to slow down and connect to water and earth, as I said already. And this right here is the Virgo card. So they're not... So the moons, it's harvest moon, and then we've got the strong sun moon. And this just represents the same chunk of time as Cancer zodiac, and this is Virgo zodiac. So just embodying that overall vibration of a Cancer person and of a Virgo person. This might mean that you have Cancers and Virgos around you and surrounding you, but mostly it's just to embody those energies. So Cancers are very fun-loving, they're very calm, they're collected, they're grounded. Virgos are very left brain, honestly. It's about preparation, gathering, and a turning point. So it seems like you're moving forward with something. I'm thinking it's more so than creative pursuits. I feel as though it is more to do with... Sorry, I'm going to turn this light on. Kind of forgot that part. So I just feel like it has to do with kind of paperwork. It does feel a little bit left brain to me, so I'm hearing like patience and calm, collected, that type of thing. And then as we move towards this placement of the bear, you know, the bear hibernates and goes into her own space. It is very feminine, and we kind of embody this Cancer energy here, and what we got was the art of healing. So I'm going to pull a card here for within for Leo. I got two jumpers, one of them being the West, which is represented by the bear. So that's perfect. That's right where it needs to be, over there in that quadrant. It's just putting some emphasis on this idea of retreat and perspective, and then it says unity, because bears also run alone. They're very rarely found with other people unless they have babies. So it's kind of the energy of like an independent mother, right? And then it also has that retreat, which, of course, the mother energy always needs. And, yeah, so this space over here is very collected. There's boundaries around it, and it's healthy. It's a very healthy place to unwind and regroup and then find the next step. So let's see, this one here, perfect. So we have the frog, which has come out a lot, and that's why I said the collective messages are very much about this water energy. Sorry, that's like super bright. I'm trying to fix it. Okay. Cleansing, release, and healing is what that says. And it's just this frog, and the frogs are connected to both water and earth. They're actually kind of a portal, if you will, between the water, where they are born and they are like literally a fish, right? And then they're able to be a tadpole and get outside and be on land. So it's about being very transformable, about being willing to transform and move forward in that light. So we have this really earthy energy over here. And then right here, there's some logical stuff here, and then the documentation there. So we'll see what that's about when we come full circle. But first we're going to go up here to that north shield again, which is represented by the buffalo. Abundance and manifestation, law of attraction. It's you and your higher self connecting to the God source, whatever you call it, the stars. So it's moving forward with your mind and connecting to the other side. So Leo, outer connection, upward Words connection. And so we have Strength of the West again. So again with the bear and the hibernation. Offering assistance, meditation, and patience. So I think while you do this cleansing thing, which can literally be your body, it's definitely recommended at this time to do a lot of that cleansing body work, like sweat lodge, hot tubs, sauna, sweat room, anything to do with that will be very useful for you, especially when it comes to water and steam and how good that is for your pores. Just doing like exfoliations can really bring you back to earth, kind of give you that earthy connected energy where you're connected to your body and you're feeling at one and at peace. Because I feel like there's a lot of left brain thought going on, especially with this Truth card, and then we've got here with the stone, and then we have Virgo. So that's a lot of air, and air mixed with fire is a hurricane of fire. So we want to be careful of that. And that's been kind of everybody's message, so it isn't just you. And then we have here between the East and the South being the lesson of the South. So that's about lessons, growth, and trust, and it is represented by the wolf. So the trust, and then relationships, and kind of going back and forth, it seems, we'll see, because we've got social invitations and creative, and that like mushy, gooey, really nice. Maybe you have a Cancer in your midst, and the Virgo energy goes hand in hand here. So let's see. I'm going to pull one more for this South, and we have the Butterfly. So it's about awakening and transformation, but then also about clarity. Like there's maybe some bits of information that have come to you recently, possibly regarding a relationship, just based upon the fact that we have the South busting out here and then information here. So maybe even phone records, that type of thing, which is just like the fertile energy, where it's not something that for a general reading I feel comfortable saying is yay or nay. Let's see what animals come through to help you through this, because it seems like there's a really good transformation going on. You are forgetting a little bit about your body, and everyone has just been kind of being that way. They just want to move forward. They want their ideas to be manifested. Yes, so this one has come out in the same place as well, which is details. Little mice, they always have their little face down. You can see his nose is pointed down. He literally does not have the neck muscles to look up. So this goes to show, be careful of tunnel vision, be careful of taking too meticulous details and strategy and that type of thing. And it goes right there next to Virgo. So that makes a lot of sense. So lots of left brain going on right here. Lots of strategic mind with this, and this coming together. And the South, where the relationships live, are kind of maybe getting on the back burner. And this clarity card, here with the Butterfly, it doesn't have to be a fight or flight type energy. And you can see we've got some duality going on here. Hopefully you can see we've got green, purple, and purple. So they're just kind of is asking for balance. And then I'll grab another animal to see what kind of healing assistance we can bring to you. Hopefully you guys can see okay. So I'm going to pull another animal card here for the West, because we've got some healing going on there and some cleansing that needs to happen. And I'm going to bring in an animal energy to help you with that, because the fertile energy, here we go with the flip. Okay, magic. Perfect. So this has come out in the same position as well, actually. So interesting. This is very collective. Okay, and then the next card is this one, which has come out a lot for the next position. So let's just run with this. So the crow, raven, is kind of about attracting things that uh, may not even serve you. It's like, it's not necessarily a bad omen. It's really not. It's just a matter of you get what you think about whether you like it or not. And it's right here between your body and your space within, and then manifestation. So just be aware of your thoughts. Not even be aware, just be aware of your thoughts. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull the trickster because he was right here. And this goes right here with your mind and soul as well. So I'm going to set that there. Those two came out in that same position lots of other times. I want to say might even have been Aries. Oh, it was, yeah. Yep, because I'm in Aries and it came out for me too. So I'll pull another one for this area because it just kind of popped out at me and I wanted to pull it. But up here with the manifestation energy, I'm going to pull you another animal. And we have deception. Interesting. Upside down. So that's difficult. Oh boy. I'm thinking maybe someone's in a relationship and found out something they didn't want to hear. And that kind of makes sense here with the raven. He's got his mouth open, he's talking, and, you know, the raven in legend lost his voice box, and so he's not able to manifest like some of the other animals are able to. He's not able to communicate between worlds. He lost that ability. So it was from kind of crying wolf type of story that the legend goes. But long story short is the manifestation and the overall like bad reputation that comes with the raven. So we definitely want to avoid that when it comes to your own inner workup. With you, you want to be grounded and cleansed and doing your own thing regardless of what your relationship is going on. You do not necessarily have to leave this person. You have fertility right in the center. But the owl was upside down, so I'm not sure if maybe, and he's right next to the trickster. So coyotes are a lot like the wolves, but rather than being community oriented, they are a little bit more like, they are one of the only animals in the animal kingdom that will play with their food, right? Kind of rip it around and let the little rabbit live long enough to play with it and kill all of the sheep, not just one sheep, that type of energy. So definitely want to be aware of that. And it's up here with your mind. It's between connecting to the stars and moving forward, like knowing what to do. And then deception comes right after that in that same position. So I'm thinking just on a really general message, like collective message level, we need to be very conscious of our thoughts in 2018 and how we feel about those things in 2018. Because we are still human at the end of the day, and we need to allow ourselves the time and space to be human and to use our truth, our own personal truth, what actually means something to us, what our own transformation looks like, what our intuition looks like, and our ability to just know. That's what the owl medicine is, being able to know when someone is lying. It's an intuition that can't be replaced by anything else. So, I want to say caution just to the wind about it's tricks on the mind, having to do with the mind. So it's like manipulation. So, but you know better. It's just a matter of giving yourself your own inner rhythm, coming back to your heartbeat, coming back to your zen, and doing your own self-reflection. So this is upside down. You haven't been spending a whole lot of time with yourself and understanding your emotions and feelings behind the things that happen. A lot of times, especially with 2018, and I'll go over this part with you guys because I told all the other signs, which is that if you think about the meaning behind the word resolution, or say like a New Year's resolution, that actually means a plan to come up to a solution to a problem. So just with saying the word resolution, we are admitting we have a problem. And that's not actually a good thing. We actually want to be talking about how blessed the 2017 was for us. We want to talk about how wonderful and beautiful it was so we can attract more of what we're thinking about. So be very mindful of your thoughts. You don't want to be piercing your own creativity with, negative thoughts of, this is, you deserve this, or, you're maybe even in like a kind of an interesting situation as far as relationships go. So do feel free to reach out to me. I do have this other deck I'm going to pull for you. So here with the South Shield, I've got the Temple. So it's a little bit of a maze, and it comes here with the Mouse. So just be really careful as you're going through life that you don't feel trapped or like you can't get up on your hind legs and see above this like mousetrap. It's almost like a rat race or, mousetrap that you feel like you're in, but you're not. It's just your logical brain kind of taking over because it's over here right next to Virgo as well. So maybe just look into a little bit more of the actual workup of Virgo because they have good and bad points. And it's asking you in the realm of your relationships to assess that. So I'm hoping there's not a Virgo doing some manipulation to you or against you. I do feel like you need to kind of put up a little bit of a protection because it's matters of the mind and of the information in front of you. So be very cautious as far as that goes, but don't try and decode it. It's not about understanding why and understanding, who said what when. It's not about the details. It really isn't. It is about your transformation. It's about your life lessons, your growth, and your ability to do magic. And, yeah, that's also the meaning of the Temple, which is the one we just got, because it's a sacred place. It's a space where, you've got like this yellow force field around the maze. It's protected. So you have a lot of magic cards going on. You just need to be allowing yourself that space to grow, to heal, to learn, to take the lessons and really internalize them. And how to do that is to connect to the earth, connect to water, and then connect to the earth again, and then connect to water. And I've made multiple posts about that just recently. I have a Facebook group. It's just called Mountain Medicine Mindset. If you're interested to just search that up. I'll put the link down below. No pressure, but anyway, I just talk a lot more about what's going on in 2018, and I'm able to work with you one-on-one in there. So if that suits you, then let me know. Let's pull one for this inner space, the introspection, because you have the bear coming out twice. And I think it's about going into that hibernation space. So these two kind of popped out. So this one is not about the snakes, it's actually the tobacco. It's understanding that it's a sacred plant, and we've got the green coming out again for that position. And I love the green. I just feel like that's totally the opposite of you as a Leo is, getting into that space of connectedness. So it's tobacco. It's a sacred plant. They would go and burn it up on a mountain, not even necessarily smoke it, but they did. But it's an intention. It's like a little fire that they would burn in order to send their message up to the spirit realm, which is this realm right here that's being deceived. There's nothing but you and yourself. So make sure that other people's voices are not in your head. Make sure you are calm, collected, and moving forward in a rhythm that feels good to you. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. That's very simple. And this one here is this snake-skirted woman. Pretty self-explanatory. This woman walks around with a bunch of snakes available to her. So you do have snakes there twice. And I love, love, love the snake energy because it's not deception as you might think it is. It's actually a lot more to do with transformation, kind of like how the butterfly comes out of the cocoon. the snake comes out of its skin. So it's a lot of that same energy, where this one has a lot more to do with freedom and running free and embodying joy and, the ability to fly and things like that. The snake is a little bit more strategic with its movements, and these popped out here. So anyway, the snake is about healing and knowing what to let go of in order to move forward, and it does feel a little bit to me like you just need to kind of exit the situation to broaden the perspective, and how to do that is to connect to the earth, like I said. So this is a little celestial frog. He's really cute. And you've got the frogs came out twice. Cancer kind of reminds me of the frog as far as their overall medicine, but we've got the frog here twice. So that transformation energy going between worlds, between the realm of water and then to land. So let's see what frog says, because I know that medicine is really good. So it says heightened state of awareness, the left brain, again, and then mothering energy, dimensional travel for new information. So astral projection, that type of thing. And that's this placement over here. And just be careful not to talk yourself out of it, or to tell yourself what is and isn't possible. Then I want to go backwards here to this garden energy, because I really love that. You've got earth and water, and then magic. So with the tobacco card, which was this one right here, we have know your own garden, your body, mind, with no harmful thoughts, feed your spirit, for you are as the holy plant. So it goes to self-love and knowing when to say yes and when to say no. Because saying no is just as important as saying yes. We always are taught to just be a yes man and do everything. And it's not actually recommended. You have to say no just as much or more as you say yes to opportunities. No, I don't want to go out tonight. No, I don't want to stay home in my sweats. Which one is it? And whatever feels good is the way that you should go. And that's how you fine-tune this magic making skill of, what to do now is just by the feeling. And you fine-tune that by going into that western space, which is that garden space. So I just can't stress that enough. Now, I want to go over as well the skirted woman, just because it's healing and it's letting go. And so this one says, we shed our outer skins in order to grow. Pain restores health, which is a rhythm. Use diet and exercise, and be careful of bad relationships. All right, so that can be anything. It doesn't have to be love or anything. It can be a career, a parent relationship. And then next, so this one came out with the toad. And sorry, I know I went backwards a little bit there, but with the toad in the placement of meditation, we have this one, which is the sacred piscine. It's centeredness, sacred space, being present, renewal, rebirth, and healing. So it goes more into that temple, right, where you get to create your own sacred space, and you decide who comes in and out, okay, hands down. And so maybe just start saying no when you mean no, and yes when you mean yes. And just having that very specific boundary, because your self-reflection, we're going to go into this place right here, which is moving forward. So it's lessons, growth, and trust, mental clarity, awakening, and beauty of life, and then self-reflection. So what I want you to do or concentrate on is just getting in tune with your body, with your feelings, and how your emotions have been going. How have you been actually feeling about specific situations, and make specific decisions. All right, so this one popped out multiple times, and that is the advisor card. These are ancestors, and it comes right here next to stone people. So the other meaning of the stone is that of ancestors. And seeing as how this one came about, I feel as though there's probably somebody on the other side being like the spiritual realm, who wants to connect with you. And a lot of times our spirit guides will utilize DNA in order to connect to their children or their spirits that they have told that they will be there for. So with these two cards together right next to each other, I would say there is somebody either older than you has passed on, or just they can be in your immediate space as well. But doing your research, like family history research, I have found personally is very helpful with spiritual awakening and spiritual growth itself. So yeah, that's all I have written as ancestors. So now I'm going to pull from each of the decks for the center, just to kind of put this all together. So in the center we have fertility, and that is very interesting to me with how everything else is going, because it seems as though there's a relationship that needs to possibly be reevaluated. So fertility for the center of Leo, January 2018. Okay, so we have the Scorpio. So you have lots of energies with Virgo and Cancer as well. I wouldn't take those literal, especially with a general reading. This one, it's more emotion card. It says identity, self-discovery, and vulnerability. So something about Scorpios is that they have a really hard time hiding anything they're feeling. It's just kind of impossible for them. They wear everything on their sleeve. So that's why it's vulnerability. But it also comes out and screams connection to me for this one. The blue heron is the water bird. He's actually used as a symbol for the Native American church because he stands up with his tall legs and stares down all day. So he's looking for fish, but the way that everyone used mirrors in order to do their healing work, like I mentioned here, you know, it's about that self-reflection and being willing to do that work and being really easy on yourself as well. You're doing your self search work, not to find your flaws, not to go over 2017 and say, okay, how could I have done this, and you know, this was wrong, and this is terrible, and blah blah blah. We're wanting to take a 2017 recap and make it a really positive thing and be proud of yourself for the things that you have accomplished. And when you go back in time to give yourself that time, that is energy that you're not spending concentrating on this deception that looks kind of daunting, honestly. But it's of the mind. It's might not even be in the physical, because it's interesting actually. So let's see. So I'll pull another one for the center. Illumination. So this is with the East. It's about having all of the information because taking the action step is the last step. And so with this one coming out in the center, it's just saying hold tight, because the inner knowing, the spiritual guidance, the divine communication, and your inner light are going to come together in their own time, and you will just see everything from this bird's eye point of view in comparison to this mouse point of view. They're very different, very much different. So you're going to just be learning a lot this month. Make sure that you are doing that energy work where you are giving yourself some freaking credit for 2017, like you survived it. Let me find my other deck. There we go. Okay, so I want to pull an animal for you to just be holding strongly to in 2018, first of the month, January 2018 for Leo. Okay, and we have the wolf, and it's all about a teacher, and it's upside down. So I do feel like there might be the energy that's older than you, maybe the communication is just a little bit off because he's upside down and he's howling upside down. So, let's see, it was upside down. So we'll put that there, and that goes with the south here. I just feel like there's there's more to you than you're giving yourself credit for, and you're allowing other people's points of view, other people's words to really get into your head and switch things around that really should be solid. What I'd like you to do is the grounding work, be connected to the stones, connected to the earth, and then water, and just let air and fire go away. The only time you need to be utilizing fire, or, you know, in other words, ego or the left brain or moving forward or goal setting, is when you feel darn ready for it. So this is reminding you that there's divine timing, you know, and then we've got like the yin and yang right here. It's just male and female sides, left and right brain, communication between the two, and just being very proactive with your feelings and your, oh, here we go. Let's see. Cosmic powers as well. I feel like you have some fine-tuning to do because there's magic that comes out all around, but there's just so many left brain aspects as far as, you know, finding truth and finding messages, and you're kind of looking too hard. I feel like I just wish there was more of this earthy energy to bring you down a little bit, because there's no need for you to feel afraid of being vulnerable, is what I feel. When you think of retreat and release and healing and cleansing and even magic or meditation or patience, and all of that feels ooey gooey and a little bit too feminine for you. But the fact is, 2018 is asking for that to be what you go with, what you lead with for the majority of your thought processes and your decision making. So if you're having a hard time fine-tuning that, the best way is to legitimately pretend like there's a white light surrounding you, right? And we have this universal energy, so this is more about transformation given to you by knowledge you receive after you have connected. And you connect by getting grounded and then reaching upwards to that meditative state. And this here where we have the spiral, it speaks to holding on to the railing as you go around the circle. If you're not holding the railing and you're trying to move too quickly, you're trying to make vast decisions on a dime without being balancing. You see how if this is sideways, they're falling. They're not actually falling. They are perfectly balanced. You see how, like, perfect the two of them are balanced. They could sit there forever and ever and just float there. But, and this is the same thing, if you get into a flow, that spiral will actually feel really good, like a baby getting rocked to sleep. But if you are trying too hard to get it in motion too quickly, the spiral staircase is like everything spiraling out of control, when it really isn't. Just grab the railing. And the railing is your body, your mind, your spirit, your feelings, how you're doing, how you feel in any specific moment, and making changes accordingly based upon what will make you feel good. So, very straightforward reading. It is very much fine-tuned towards the new year and new goals. Just don't get in your own way. Don't let the ego talk you out of making plans, and even right now, like, it's not even really a great time for you to make plans. I think right now the transformation and the mental stability and, you know, reaching out to teachers. I like how this teacher is pointing down towards the South Shield, which is represented by the wolf, and we have the wolf here. It's kind of asking you to reach out to somebody, whether it's just someone older than you, it's somebody like a mindset coach, which I do, so feel free to reach out to me if it feels aligned. But I feel like there's so much positivity here, and the fertility mixed with all of this magic is really great energy. It just feels a little bit chaotic, and I just want you to do that grounding work. So I hope this helped, Leo. Feel free to reach out to me. I'll post some links around the video. If not, I will see you next time. Thank you so much.